Alright, so hello everyone. So what we're going to work on now is we're going to do a little bit of an algebra review. So as you all probably have noticed by now, is that what we're getting into for lessons 5 and 6 has a little bit of algebra in it. Nothing too bad, but if algebra is not your strong point, it might be a little hard to do. So what we're going to do is go back to the basics, kind of work our way up. And then hopefully after we get done with all this, you all have a better handle on it. So let's start with the basics. The order of operations. So this is something you all have probably seen many times during your school career. We have a certain order we do things in math to make sure we do things correctly. We do parentheses, exponents, multiply and divide, addition and subtraction. So if there's a few ways to remember this. One of the most common ones to remember the acronym is Please Excuse My Dear Aunt Sally, or PEMDAS, or HEATMOS, any of those. Do your parentheses first. Everything that's inside parentheses, you solve. So if inside of here was 2, not bad. If inside parentheses we had 2 plus 2, we'd solve that before we did anything else. Next thing we do is exponents. Exponents is when you raise a number to a power. So like this one, 2 squared means that we are going to be that's not quite working how I want it to. That's okay. There we go. 2 squared is the same as 2 times 2, which is 4. So when we get to multiplying, it's multiplication. You all have done it plenty of times. Sometimes you have what looks like an X, sometimes you have a dot. And division, sometimes you have the divide symbol, and sometimes you make a fraction. So a lot of people have issues with fractions, but one thing to remember is if you have something like 4 over 2, like we do in our example, this fraction 4 over 2 is the same thing as 4 divided by 2. The number on top is divided by the number on bottom, and that gives us 2. In addition, subtraction, you've seen those plenty. I'm sure y'all can handle those fairly well. Easy. All right, so let's go over a couple examples. So using the order of operations, we need to solve the equation 3 times 7 plus 8. So if we go back to order of operations, do we have any parentheses? We don't. What about exponents? Nope. Well, we have multiplication right here. So we're going to take this and make 3 times 7, 21. Okay. The only thing left to do is add 8, so our final answer is 29. All right, let's look at the next one. So right here, again, going with order operations, we don't have parentheses or exponents. We do have multiplication. So we're going to do this first. Even though this is the second operation in the equation, we have to do this first. So 2 times 3 is 6. And so we're going to have 7 plus 6, which is 13. Okay. Now how about this one? So if we notice here, we do have parentheses. We have parentheses right here. So what that means is we are going to do what's inside the parentheses first. So we're going to look at 2 plus 7, which is 9. And that 9 is still going to be in parentheses. So if you don't know what this means, this is another way to say 3 times 9, which is 27. Okay, so That was a little review of the basics of algebra. In the next part, we're going to take a look at what happens when we throw in a variable into the mix.